Oh, don't share your secrets because
Oh, okay.
you, your videos on Instagram are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Makes me want to grow some hair out and get it done.
You got it. You got it.
Nah, it don't come out the way it used to.
You got the beard.
Ah,
You good. You good.
and we can talk about the beard too while we're chatting this morning because I want to make sure that our discussion doesn't exclude the fellas,
Fellas.
or anyone along the spectrum. We all got some hair here or here that we need to be taken care of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We could do that for sure. The guys
So
are always left out. Let's see.
they get left out, but some of them have some really good systems and tips that work, and some of us don't share them enough.
Yeah, this
So
is true.
yeah.
It's true. Well, you know, my husband's
Anyway,
a barber, so I know a little bit of something about the guys.
and I seen you lining him up on a video recently.
Yeah, he doesn't let me like actually line him up. It's like if the little hairs back here that he can't get to. But whenever I try to be like, let me make it crispy, he's like, no, I just need you to get what I can't see. So I'm not very good with the clippers or the liners at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe in the future.
Well, everyone who doesn't know you, who is jumping on the call, I think we're 6 minutes past. We want to be cognizant of everyone's time. Saturday morning, I imagine, is probably one of your busiest days of the week. So let's dive in. I know everybody has been in the game for 20 plus years. From reading your bio, you used to braid hair on your steps.
Yes.
At the age of 9, and you
Yes.
started out in St. Paul, and you have graduated to this beautiful shop that you are sitting in right now in the heart of St. Paul, Minnesota, which is the Twin Cities. Minneapolis is across the river. But it's amazing, everybody. You're not positioned where we can see the sign on the wall, but it's nice and bright and airy, and I love the earth tones in there. I'm just trying to give a little bit of sense of it, and the gold touches.
Right here.
Yeah.
A bit.
You specialize in natural hair. You also have recently moved into was it micro?
Microlink extensions.
Okay.
Yes.
And from what I'm looking at, when I see some of the videos, they look to be less stressful on the hair.
Yeah. So it's extensions, but it's a lot safer because you're not using braids, so there's not as much tension to the hair. You're just individually attaching the extension to your hair. So for ever, we've done the sew-ins, we've done the wigs, which require braid downs and things like this, and this lets the hair and the scalp just breathe. So it's definitely been a game changer for women who are concerned about keeping their hair healthy, and they're able to get extensions and not worry about that.
And that's important. We want everybody to be healthy no matter what they're doing.
Yes. Yes, we need the hair to be there after the extensions are out.
It's got an anchor to something, right?
Yes, that's the goal. So I've been having a lot of fun kind of transitioning into playing with the extensions, and I really like it. So
I'm loving the work that I'm seeing too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take a few minutes and just give us a little bit of backstory. Like, I mean, we talked about you braiding hair on the steps at 9 years old, but give us a little bit in between that to where you are now. And everybody who's listening, feel free to drop the hearts.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I started. 9 is the earliest age that I can actually remember doing hair. But I grew up in a super big family. Dad had braids, mom, sister, siblings. This is like when the Iversons and braids were just taking over. So I had a cousin who braided hair, but she is what we would call heavy-handed. And so everybody hated getting their hair done by her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to braid, and I'm going to be super gentle and light-handed with it. So I kind of became known for being a really good braider that did not pull your scalp out. And fast forward, I worked, I think at the age of 15, I kind of got recruited to work in a barbershop to braid hair. Dad caught wind of that and was like, nope, we're not doing that. This is a bunch of guys. You're 15. Then fast forward to high school, I started doing like the proms, the homecoming dances. I had an actual shop set up in my bedroom, and I was doing relaxers. I was doing color in high school. Just any and everything that, you know, somebody would let me do, I was doing it. I was late to every dance because I was doing everybody's hair. Then right after high school, I went to beauty school. I got recruited to work in like a really prestigious salon before I graduated beauty school, which was kind of cool. And then worked there for, I think I did a year or two. And then I ended up opening my first shop when I want to say I was 21 or 22. So I was super young. That didn't work out too well. And so after that, I went into corporate America for a while, actually, which a lot of people don't know. I was kind of trying to run from doing hair, even though I had did it all my life, and did that, hated it. It was not my calling, and I just kept getting pulled back to the hair industry, kept getting pulled back to my clients that I kind of, you know, just left. And I remember actually the position that I was working in corporate America got like completely eliminated at one point. And it was actually my husband. I was like, I don't even know why, you know, you're upset. You do hair, you're great at it, you have clients waiting to come. So I kind of took the big leap of just doing hair fully. And that was in, I want to say that was 2016, 2017, that I fully went back into doing hair and getting another shop and just going full time and diving all the way in. So yeah, as far as I can remember, I've always done hair.
That's amazing. So many parallels I can recall. I don't do hair at all professionally. I don't act like I am, you know, anywhere like you and your team over there. But I did have a barbershop in my bedroom growing up. Yeah, I grew up in North Minneapolis on Plymouth Avenue, and I used to cut hair. Half of the basketball team from the Polars, like I would have them in there, and people from the school. I had clients, and yeah, I would show up to the dances late too.
Yeah,
and,
all the time. All the time.
You kept money in your pockets. It was a different. You know,
oh man, I think about the money now because even like entire summers as a kid, my dad wouldn't let people come in the house, so I had to braid hair on the porch. But when I say people would be lined up, everybody, you know, in the whole neighborhood would come, and I would braid their hair. And I would go to, you know, the corner store and just get hot Cheetos and candy and pop or whatever. And I'm just like, man, if I would have saved all of that money that I made as a kid, it would have been real lovely.
What? Yeah, and shout out to your husband too for giving you that insight, that feedback. You know, just telling you, no, you're great at this.
Yeah.
Why don't you go back into it?
Yeah, he definitely. He was asleep when I told him I had lost my job, and he literally just like rolled over, rolled his eyes. He's like, "You do hair. That's what you do." And I'm like, "You know what? I do hair. I can do hair."
You're right. So the word natural seems to be really trendy in so many businesses right now in general, because oftentimes we see it as a marketing prop. It's a buzzword. But for you, you seem to have leaned into it. Can you tell us a little bit about what were the drivers that promoted you to really just go full-hearted, full steam ahead into natural hair care?
Yeah, I mean, I always was in the natural hair realm, so it came very natural to me. But I do distinctly remember going to beauty school and noticing that. I'll fix my camera, y'all. Sorry. And definitely noticing that there was no representation of natural or textured hair almost at all. And I mean, that's what my family looked like. That's what my hair looked like for, you know, a really long time. Relaxers and chemical, you know, processing had its shine for a little bit, but it was just very underrepresented. And everyone that I knew, you know, had natural hair. I had always worked with it from being a braider. And so when I did get to beauty school, I was kind of the rebel in, you know, being like, you know, we don't have to relax everyone's hair, and we should try and figure out how to work with our, you know, textured and curly and kinky hair, because we, at the end of the day, you know, it's growing out of our head like that. And so always altering it or changing it, I always had a really big, not problem, but like question around that. Like, why are we forcing it so hard to change the way that our hair naturally looks? So, you know, in beauty school, I actually, my instructors would let me teach to an extent, because they also didn't really, you know how to navigate around natural and textured hair. So I always try to like think back, and I'm like, I've just always had a huge interest in it. Again, it's what I look like, it's what my family look like, and a lot of the salon spaces and beauty school spaces just weren't representing it at all. So I kind of just did a lot of research. I took classes outside of beauty school. I would go to Atlanta and go to hair shows. Wherever I could go to learn about natural hair, I invested in that, and I did that. And from the beginning of becoming a hairstylist, I knew like I wanted to focus on the hair that is literally growing out of our scalp.
That's powerful, because to me it speaks a lot to like the knowledge of self and just like this determination to accept your whole self.
Yes.
And
Yes.
to build around that. And
yeah,
it's transformative when people do that in their business, because you're able to reach and touch so many people who would otherwise have to conform to
yeah,
these societal standards of,
yeah,
of what beauty looks like. And
yeah.
I'll tell you, we could look across the continent of Africa. We look so different as you go to the far corners, and no one looks the same. Nobody's hair texture is the exact same, but there's a huge population that's underrepresented. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, and you know, growing up, I had siblings who, you know, are much darker than me. My sister, you know, she had this long, beautiful curly hair as, you know, a dark-skinned woman. I remember people always questioning, like, you know, that's not her hair, that's extensions. And I was always like arguing with people, like, it has nothing to do, you know, like we can grow our hair, it can be beautiful, it can be healthy. And so I can't think of a time when I wasn't really advocating for natural hair.
Mhm.
And you know, in the sense of, we can wear our hair however we want. We can add extensions, we could do wigs, we could do whatever, but we need something to come back to as a choice. And you know, additives and things like that should always be a choice, and we need to be comfortable with what we have as well.
Right. Yeah. Yes. So I think of skincare too. Like makeup
Yeah.
is awesome, but you got to
Yes.
have the skincare before
Yes.
you can go to makeup. So
Absolutely. The foundation.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So I'm an 80s baby, right? I grew up in the era of jerry curls, flat irons, perms, and flat tops. So I'm wondering, not really necessarily wondering. There's a lot of consequences to those hair styles that we had back then, physically and mentally, psychologically. I'm wondering, do you have any insight as to what those hairstyles that we had in the past have done to our hair, physically and potentially, mentally?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, we know you're in skincare. So staying as close to clean, you know, is always going to be better whenever we're doing things or using things that have chemicals in them. Even if it's not right away, they will either have, you know, short-term or long-term effects. And then unfortunately, surrounding hair, because we did the jerry curls, the perms, relaxers, it's a chemical. And we didn't have a lot of information even surrounding how to properly apply those when they were given to us as well. So I think about family members who have been, you know, relaxing. I used to get relaxers, believe it or not. I had a lot of hair. It was thick. And my sisters, you know, they would get the just for me's, and I'm like, you know, I want a relaxer too. By no means that I need it, but it was, you know, we didn't have a lot of products back then. So it would be a lot easier to chemically straighten the hair. But I've had family members who, you know, they started getting relaxers at the age of 3, 4, 5. And by the time they were, you know, teenagers to young adults, they were experiencing tons of hair loss, thinning, chemical burns, all types of things. So, even if you didn't see the effects right away of chemicals, they have never been good for our hair. And I feel as though, you know, there's some people that ride really hard for relaxers or, you know, certain chemical treatments, and some people can actually do them and not see right away any of the effects, but something is being damaged regardless, in my personal opinion. And whether that's you thinking, oh, I'm 50, my hair is gonna thin, it's supposed to be, you know, I'm balding, that's just a part of age. It's not always just an age thing. Sometimes it's what we did to our hair early on that affected it down the road. So, I mean, Jerry curls, anything with chemicals, they're just never going to be very friendly for our hair. And I'm very happy that we're starting to have more knowledge surrounding that, so people can see like, okay, let me move away from this, or let me scale how often I do it to make sure that I'm not causing not only damage to my hair, but internal damage as well, because it's a chemical. It causes cancers and, you know, all types of things that we don't want, as you know.
Yeah. There was an article in, I don't know, Newsweek, and it talked about the amount daily of chemicals that women are exposed to. And they even broke it out between women of different races. And Black women were at the top of the list. The things that they're exposed to, not only with your hair care, with deodorant and perfume and skincare, it was astonishing. So that was one of the drivers for OHENE as well.
And I feel like, you know, because we've had so many different struggles with our hair, a lot of, you know, Black women have become product junkies. And, you know, we're trying so hard to find what works for us, what works for our hair. And so we're buying things, we're trying it out. And products also can have, you know, chemicals hiding in them. So I completely believe that. We think we're doing the right thing. I even think about, you know, pink lotion being this great thing back in the day. And I look at the ingredients of it now and I'm like, how do any of us still have hair? I mean, I'm patterned, you know, pink lotion into my hair. We use it. We didn't have, you know, many, you know, jam, black gel, pro style, which some people still use that stuff today. And I'm always like, please stop. It's not, there's so many better products now, but chemicals hide, they're sneaky.
Oh my gosh. So 2 points. The word fragrance. When they put fragrance on something and they don't tell you anything else, by law they can say that, and they don't got to tell you what is included to make the fragrance. But they got heavy metals in there. We're talking about allowable levels of lead and mercury and different types of detergents. It's crazy that we allow it here in the States. Some countries like the UK don't allow that. They're limited, and California's trying to move on it. But you know, when you really dig into it, not everything that is synthetic is bad. I want to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's medicine that we take every day that's synthetic that help us live longer. But when it comes down to like fragrance creation, some of those heavy metals we know cause cognitive development issues. Some of them lead to endometriosis and fibroids and low birth, you know, the inability to conceive. It's a lot in it. So I again applaud you. So hats off, salute for that. So I checked your website. You know, I was trying to see if I could book an appointment, and I see that you are fully booked. Praise God for that situation. But I'm wondering, do you have any tips that you could share with the people that have joined us today about natural hair care?
Absolutely. So to your point as well, I get this question a lot. Excuse me. My books are closed. So some people say, you know, when are you opening your books? You're booked, which yes, is true. Thank God. But I actually closed my book so that I could focus more on my clients' natural hair journeys. And because I established individual relationships with my clients, it makes it a lot harder to have a rotating chair of people. And so my concept was to close my book so that I can really help the women who are sitting in my chair. So I know a lot of people are always like, when are you taking clients from there, and it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Just because it's I need to do that, focus on the clients who, you know, are currently going through their journeys. But some tips
that.
I always say, I know especially where we're at in Minnesota, it might be a little different where you are in the hairstylist industry, but it can be really hard to find natural hairstylists here. And so I, first off, always tell people to do their research. If they are looking for a stylist, read reviews, look at pictures, ask around, because it only takes one person to get in your hair and completely ruin it. So it's almost better for you to try and, you know, learn your hair. I have this weird thing I say that's listen to your hair. Again, back to the product junkie part, we think, oh, I need these products, I need to do this. Your hair is a lot simpler than you think. So the biggest tips that I would say is simplify whatever you're doing. Don't overthink your hair. Don't stress over your hair. Find really good products that agree and work with your hair, and, you know, fill those out, stick to it. In the meantime, I do highly suggest having a professional, because there's certain, you know, treatments, and from protein to deep steams to deep conditioning that you do want to incorporate. And it's a lot easier for somebody to stand behind you and do your hair and see the full picture of what's going on. But then I also have clients that are, you know, amazing at researching and, you know, being able to manage their hair in the meantime. So don't overthink your hair. Listen to your hair and what it needs. Find really good quality products. If the product is under $5, it's probably not any good for your hair, with the exception of some. But you want to invest in your hair for something that you really care about, and that's going to include spending, you know, money on good quality products. So that's the biggest thing. Relax. Don't let it be something that, you know, is this anxious thing whenever you do have to do your hair. Kind of come into a place where you understand your hair and what it needs, and don't, you know, so much think about like, oh, my hair needs to be this today. So good quality products will be my biggest tip, and, you know, eventually making your way to a stylist who can help aid in your journey. That would be my two biggest.
And since we're on the topic of products,
yes,
two questions. Are you old enough to remember Blue Magic?
Absolutely. I'm an 80s baby too.
Okay. Just checking. Blue Magic was the go-to before we
Blue
went
Magic,
to DAX.
Green Magic.
Oh, I didn't mess with the Green Magic. We only messed with Blue Magic over
the green one.
North Minneapolis. Any products that you would, you know, recommend or tell people to look into? I'm sure it's not the same for everyone, but what are some of your favorites?
Yes. So some more universal products that I personally use in the shop. One of my favorite is a line called Innersense. So Innersense. It's clean, and they did a really good job of making a product that is very versatile and works with different hair textures and types. And they have a really broad array of products within their line. So that would probably be one of my number one suggestions. And then my second that I really love is a small business called Binta Beauty, Binta. They also, I want to say they're fully organic. If they're not fully organic, I know that they have a very clean initiative with their products. It's Black owned, and they have amazing reviews. I've used their products. They're very clean. Like, some of their things you have to put in the refrigerator, but they're very close to just natural and what your hair needs. So those would be my two favorite. And if I'm thinking of something that a person could pick up from like Target or Walgreens, I would probably have to either say the doux, which is DOUX. I like their products a lot. Another one would have to be the Curls line. I like the Curls line a lot. But there's a few that you can pick up that are a little bit more budget friendly, but my favorite would be Innersense and Binta Beauty, and they're both on Instagram. So okay.
And if anybody else is familiar with them, if you want to drop them in the comments, that would be appreciated. Any tips for guys that got beards? And I mean,
yeah, wash them. No. them, comb them, stimulate, massage. It's so funny because my husband, for those that don't know, me and my husband actually work in the same building, and he's across the hall from me. So, you know, early on, I'm seeing these guys come in with the spotty beards, or they kind of have the struggling beard. And I was, you know, let my husband know a big part of, you know, your beard growth is making sure it's, you know, moisturized and getting in there, massaging it, stimulating it, washing and combing it. It's still hair. And so I think a lot of men forget to actually care for it. But washing, conditioning, oiling, things like that are going to help to aid in the growth of it. Oh, speaking of which.
Ozone, what's up, brother?
He's trying to get in on my stuff. So, yes, stimulation is really big. Working those, you know, getting that blood flow going and making sure those follicles are really healthy. So, if you want to be beard gang, you got a couple steps.
And I guess the last question for you on the tip of hair care, do you have, or just in general, do you have any podcasts or books or anything that you just love and think everybody who is on this journey of natural hair care probably would appreciate in some respect?
Man, there's so many. I'm not a huge podcast person. All my clients and friends keep telling me to get back into that, but I'll make sure to put in the comments or pin or however we can do it, some things for people too, but blackcurlmagic.com. That's a really great resource for, you know, textured hair care. Facebook, oddly enough, there's a lot of natural hair care groups on Facebook, and even as a stylist, they have helped me to learn about product. There's so many products out there that it's almost impossible to keep up with all of them. So joining, you know, Black hair care groups, textured hair care groups, Bronner Brothers, I highly recommend following them on Instagram. They always, you know, tag other stylists. There you go. They usually, you know, they have resources. There's a lot. I more so follow quite a lot of people on like Instagram, social media. There's websites. I can't think of there's one that I'm gonna put in the comments or pin as well. And they have a lot of like ebooks and resources. I don't know why. I want to say it's textured hair. It might even be texturedhair.com. There's a few. YouTube can be good, and it can be, you know, YouTube University can go either way, but you know, just being able to join groups of people who are like-minded and have the same, you know, hair textures and hair concerns and things like that, that'll help a lot. There's so many. There's but Blackcurlmagic would probably be one of my favorites. And just, you know, following people that inspire you on social media, following, you know, other artists that you really like, or even regular people who are doing their hair care routines and showing you, you know, their products and things like that. That has definitely been a huge, you know, fast forward in the hair industry.
Yeah. And I love to see it. And I believe there's space for more. So, yeah. I want to sneak a question in, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Since you brought up that you work across the hall from your husband, how is that? Like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, you can't work with family, or, you know, it's tough. You working with your spouse. I'm curious, how is that working across the hall from your beloved?
You know, honestly, it is just fine. Like, it's a lot of fun. When the idea first came up for him to work across the hall, which was actually my idea, I think we were both very nervous because it's like working to get, that's very close. We don't drive to work together. We still, you know, people always ask us, do you go to work together? No. But honestly, there's quite a few days that I don't even see him. Like, we have to intentionally go across the hall and speak to each other or have lunch together. Otherwise, it's just like we're still in two totally different buildings. They brought Miss Remy in here. She wanted to say hi.
Hey, Remy.
Working across the hall too. He made the dog come over here, but it's actually really good. We have a lot of fun. As you know, Maya is also across the hall, so it's like one big family in here. And I really love that. But it actually is just fine. We still love each other, so that's good.
I know we're past time, but somebody had a question. We typically don't do questions, but this question is coming from a special person.
Oh, okay.
Local rug dealer. I was about to say drug dealer.
Oh, I was gonna say
Local rug dealer down in Miami asked any tips on maintaining healthy hair after color and then put in bleach.
Yeah, so there's a couple different layers to that for, in my opinion, how the bleach application was applied and if it was done kind of slowly um, over time. But if your hair is already bleached and you're already there, I highly recommend deep conditioning and steaming your hair. Um, More so on the side of steaming because steaming adds heat and water element. It's going to give you like a fast tracked hydration for your hair, and because color takes so much of that out, you just really want to replenish it. So even if you hop on Amazon and get like a face steamer and every few days, and especially in the beginning of getting your color, just go on with a really nice hair mask and steam your hair. You can steam your hair in the shower, put a nice deep conditioner or hair mask on. Your hair just really needs to get back a lot of that moisture that was pulled out during the bleaching process. Staying away from tight styles, ponytails. Hair is really fragile when it's colored, and so you can break it really easily. So just letting it rest and do its thing is really important after color, and keeping as much moisture as possible. And it's a good thing that you're not in Minnesota because we really struggle with that here. So she's at an advantage. She or he is at an advantage because you have that added humidity in Florida.
I believe so. Miami.
Yep, yeah. Miami. So that helps tremendously. Miami, the humidity is, walking around there is probably amazing for it. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Minnesota it wreaks havoc on your hair. The cold, the dry, it's not fun at all. I know. All right, switch gears and let's close out in a second. I wonder, do you have a favorite OHENE product? Yes, I like the Bay Facial. The Bay Facial. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think is it the #2 serum? Am I saying that right? Yeah, cell therapy. Cell therapy. That stuff is like, since we were talking about drugs, that's like crack. That's like my husband will hoard it when we would have it in the beginning. Like I couldn't even touch his stuff because that stuff is just amazing. It makes your skin feel really, really good. And I don't know what you put in it, but you did that. You really did that. But those would, you said one, but those would be my 2 favorite. Oh my gosh, thank you. You surprised me with that. I thought you were gonna say cell therapy and be done with it, but I didn't expect the rejuvenating Bay. Wow. No, I like that. Now my clients, the soap, I can't keep it at all. Like at all. I have clients that come and they're like, you know what? It's so much easier for me to pick it up here. And they're like, do you have more? Do you have more? They're really on it. So that a client favorite would definitely be your Black African soap, and then I think it's the aloe geranium soap. Everything you have is good. Let's just call a thing a thing. Thank you. Put that out there. All right. Now we always do these lightning rounds where I say a word or a statement or question, and you just come up with the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. All right, just relax, like we telling our hair to do. Don't stress. Okay. Let's just dive in. First one, work life. Amazing. Purpose. Ooh. God comes to mind right off the bat. Purpose. Ooh, this lightning round. Okay. Purpose. Making women feel beautiful. Ooh. And we love that women feel when they feel beautiful. Yes. Yes. Caribou or Starbucks? Oh, Starbucks. Oh, okay. Travel. Everywhere. Out the country. Beach. Hot. Sun. Earth tones. Calming. Oh. Target. My life. Coffee or tea? Ooh. They're kind of equal, but coffee.
Okay.
Coffee is day, tea is night.
Okay. Yeah, I'm more of a tea right in the afternoon, 4 o'clock myself. All right. Sleep.
Don't get enough.
Nature.
Absolutely love it. Have to have it. Need to be
Lock. Oh, sorry.
No, say that. Say that.
Locks.
Locks. Maya. That's what comes to mind.
My Ozone got some dope locks
my
too.
husband, yeah. She's a little
All
deeper
right.
in her journey.
What'd you say?
I said she's a little deeper in her journey.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Maya. Everybody Maya.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Seashore or riverbank?
Ooh, seashore.
All right. Your style.
Tomboy, do what I want. I still am trying to figure out, and I just kind of do what I want. Comfort, tomboy, whatever I'm in the mood for.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I do notice a lot of comfort in your style, and I respect that. And I see that with my wife too. She's like, I got to be comfortable.
Yes, yeah, and it's like I'm standing all day. I need to be comfortable.
Yeah, but it looks great. It looks great.
Thank you.
Last one, God.
Oh, everything to me. That's everything.
Everything. That's perfect. That's perfect. So where can people find you online? We know they can find you here on Instagram at Ina Styled. Are you on Facebook, or do you have YouTube page or anywhere else? Can you share that?
Yep, I'm on Facebook. It's also Ina Styled. I'm new to TikTok, but I'm on TikTok. Also Ina Styled. And my website, which is www.inastyled.com.
Uh-huh.
I haven't broken into any of the YouTube scene just yet.
All right. So do you have I don't know if we said this at the top of the show, you also do master classes for other styles.
Yeah.
Do you have any in the pipeline that are coming up?
Yes, I'm looking to do one late spring. That's in the works right now. Sorry. So yeah, keep an eye out on my social medias, on my website. I'll be pitching some dates really soon for that. I did my first master class in January, and it was amazing, unbelievable. So I'm definitely
sold out.
Definitely gonna do another one.
Good. All right, I really appreciate you, Ina, for checking in with us. I'm getting ready to close out, but I wanted to let everybody know, thank you for joining in. Thank you for dropping the questions, dropping the hearts, and just being a part of this community. I don't feel like enough of us highlight enough of us, and this is part of one of the reasons why I do it. So thank you, everybody. Moving forward, the next check-in for everyone, we'll be back April 2nd with an amazing, it's after Women's History Month, but we're still going to be rocking with the women, with the ladies. We'll be back with Elisa Buckner. She is a college advancement expert. She specializes in helping people write their essays so they can apply for college and find funding. So make sure you get ready. If you got somebody that's trying to go to college, or somebody who's or if yourself, if you're interested, join us on that day. But Ina, back to you. Thank you. Hopefully we can touch bases again when I'm there this summer.
Yes.
We might have to do a pop-up again like we did last August.
Absolutely, I'm with it. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, take care. Bye, Ina. Bye. What's the dog name again?
This is Remy.
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 Like Remy Ma.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, Remy. All right, Ozone and Maya, if they in the background, and everybody that joined, especially you, Ina. Salute. Peace.
Thank you so much.